These are Afrobeat artists who are cultists. Let's start off with Davido. When you think of the music video for his 2015 song, Dodo, you remember him displaying various hand signs associated with Black Axe members. And if you can't remember that, maybe you remember his hit song titled Aye. You might think of the title as just some mumbo-jumbo coined by Davido, but if you have even the slightest knowledge about the Black Axe, you'll know they're also referred to as Aye. But that's just me saying. And when you throw in the fact that he still displays Aye signs in some of his music videos, things start to make sense. However, the Black Axe isn't just your regular chase rival cult members and hack the life out of them cult. It is actually an organized crime group involved in anything from trafficking to money laundering. And the worst part, Davido is only one of many Afrobeat stars who are suspected to be involved with the Black Axe. Take Burna Boy for example. Besides Davido, the African giant is probably one of the Black Axe's most vocal members. Just take a look at his Instagram and you'll see enough videos of him openly displaying various cult hand signs alongside other members. And if you need any convincing, a quick look at an Instagram picture he posted back in 2017 will show you all you need to know. Just think of it. Who wears yellow socks on a black dress? That's classic Black Axe colors. Besides that, there's the cover of his album African Giant, which had the number 7 on it. Seems like some random number. But then, guess which cult group loves the number 7? Yes, you guessed it. It's the Black Axe, who see July 7 as their special day. But that's not all. Burna Boy has also been known to publicly display his association with the Black Axe. Just take a look at this video. And you can clearly see Burna Boy basically showing off his Aye membership. But at least he didn't decide to name a record label after his cult group. Guess who did that? Kiss Daniel. If you're a fan of Afrobeats, then you're no stranger to Kiss Daniel's music. He took the music industry by storm in 2014 with his debut single, Would You? Everyone wanted to listen to the song, and they almost couldn't get enough of it. And that was just the beginning of his skyrocketing music career. However, something most of his fans don't know is that he's actually a cultist. More importantly, he's a member of one of the biggest cult groups in the country. Ever heard of the Airlords? Or let's just say their more popular name, the Supreme Eye. Well, they're actually the second oldest cult group in Nigeria, and they've got enough influence that any new musician will probably want to join them. Maybe that's why Kiss Daniel decided to join the group and even go with one of their names when he was looking to create his flyboy music. You're probably thinking, we can't just judge an artist because of a name, but there is more. Kiss Daniel has been seen multiple times flying air colors. In one video, he can be seen greeting some AA members familiarly with hand signs. And it gets clearer. Towards the end of the video, some of the members were even calling him by his first name, Daniel. Who knows how close they are? Speaking of closeness, I bet you guys remember the hit song Baddest Boy and know how Davido and Skibby actually killed it. You'd think the two had been singing together for a long time. But you know what they've been for a long time? Members of the same cult. You see? Just like Davido, Skibby is also a member of the Black Axe or Aye cult, and you can say that he's even more vocal. Just take a look at the lyrics of his song Baddest Boy. With lines like that indicate that he's now manned up and strong, a term often used by cultists who are just finding their feet. Plus, he even featured Davido, a known Aye member, in the music video. And that's not all. Back in 2022, another singer, Harry Song, spoke in an interview about how Skibby insulted him and his wife once he joined a cult.
Skibby, where they stay from my house, where they feed. Everything. Skibby insulted me and my wife, where I can't go my wedding for worry. He insulted me and my wife, say because he don't join cult.
Well, you can't blame the man. He probably felt on top of the world when he joined the cult. Next up is the king of the streets himself, Alamid, who is one artist that has gained so much love that you hardly ever see somebody that dislikes Alamid. His calm and cool nature, plus the fact that he doesn't talk too much on social media, means that people hardly ever have issues with him. But it also means that people rarely know enough about him, like which cult he belongs to, or if he's even a cult member in the first place. Maybe that's why so many people find it hard to believe that he's a member of the popular Buccaneers confraternity, also known as the Sea Boys, Fine Boys, or Alora? Quite fitting. But you know what gave him away? It's his constant association with members of the cult dressed in black and yellow berets, the characteristic color of the Sea Boys. But at least Alamid doesn't wear his cult colors to perform on stage, unlike the next guy on this list, who absolutely enjoys rocking his cult colors. That is Whisky. Guess you weren't expecting that. Well, Whisky is a known member of the Supreme Vikings confraternity. And if you're wondering how, just take a look at the number of times he's been spotted with many known Viking members. But did you know that Whisky dresses in the cult colors to perform on stage sometimes? Yeah, the Viking characteristic black and red has been seen on Whisky while performing at a number of shows. Besides that, there's also the arrow phase which he adds to his songs, which is a common phrase among the men of the Supreme Vikings confraternity. Speaking of the Supreme Vikings, another Afrobeats artist that stands out as a Viking is Banky W. You probably weren't expecting that. However, when you think of his relationship with Whisky, especially earlier on in Whisky's career, it is no surprise that he belongs to the same cult group. Unlike Whisky though, Banky W is quite discreet about his cult activities. Surely he has to, given that he's a politician. But then, he's still given a couple of pointers as to his Viking membership. One of such instances is when Banky attended the wedding of one of his friends and he was pictured clawing at the groom, which is a common way of greeting amongst the Vikings. But you know what's uncommon? A one-eyed Viking. But then, there's Ruger, who managed a place amongst Afrobeats' hottest young artists since his hit single Bounce in 2021. Well, maybe, just maybe, that's because he managed to secure a seat amongst the Supreme Vikings. And as far as we can tell from the music video of his 2023 hit I See What You, where he's seen carrying a crown along with some luggage, Ruger has got some links to the Vikings. Now add that to some of the lyrics in the song, and you start to see why he's considered an Alora boy. But why talk about boys when we have men like Zlatan? You probably know how this guy got off to a great start in the music career. But unknown to many, Zlatan faced an uncommon problem, and it was usually because of his dressing. You see, back when Zlatan was just about to find his feet in music, he used to get harassed by Black Axe members for wearing their number without actually being a member. At first, it was just a couple of altercations with Black Axe members, but soon, it escalated into Zlatan getting beats regularly anytime he went for a show in their colors. And when he couldn't take it anymore, he devised an uncommon solution to an unusual problem. If you can't beat him, you join them. Well, Zlatan did exactly that. And since then, he's been free from that sort of assault. And the best part? Joining the Black Axe has allowed him to meet top dogs in the Afrobeats industry, like Burna Boy and Davido, which had taken his career to a whole new level. Maybe that's why we see Zlatan everywhere today. How about an old artist? And I don't mean some 50-year-old artist from the 90s. I'm talking about someone that paved the way for the Afrobeats that we enjoy today. That's Two-Face Idibia, or as some would prefer to call him, Tubaba. Long before we had this current crop of artists, Tubaba was among those who paved the way for the success Afrobeats enjoys today. With hits like African Queen, which showed the world how good Afrobeats is, Tubaba is a legend in his own right. Besides music, however, Tubaba may have paved the way for something a little more sinister. And I'm talking about cultism. And yeah, it's not like Tubaba went around sharing flyers to new artists to join cults. It is just that some new artists probably saw it as a normal thing for an artist to do. Anyway, if you're wondering which group he belongs to, it's the Black Axe. And Two-Face has been seen greeting fellow members in public that it's almost like it's begging to be seen. But you know one artist that most people would never think is a cultist? It's Tenny. And I bet before now, you didn't even think she could be a cultist. You see, you would be surprised that Tenny is actually a member of the Aya confraternity, as can be seen in some videos online, where she is doing the signature Aya handshake with supposed Aya members. Some even say that her membership may have been the reason behind her masculine traits and behavior. I mean, you can only belong to a group of men for so long before you want to start acting like them. But even then, Tenny is still perhaps not the most shocking name on this list. That title goes to Pable. Yes, Pable has probably got some screws loose in his head, but But no one would actually think he could be a cultist. It's one thing to be rugged, and it's another thing to actually be a member of a secret society. That requires a lot more. And to think that he's a member of the infamous Aye confraternity is just unbelievable. It makes you wonder if we've actually been seeing the real Portable, or he was just playing out a script for us. Let's leave that to him. But really, there is so much the fans don't know in the Afrobeats world. Beyond all the hits and glamour, there is so much that's hidden from the everyday fan. And Mohbad's death exposed just that. It was really an eye-opener into the dark world of secret societies and organizations in music. Maybe with time, these artists can discard these occultic associations and just focus on making good music for us.